Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if this is your first time here. I am your host, Darren James, glad to be here with all of you guys here today. If you want to enjoy today's episode, or you decide to check out any of my other content on this channel, please consider leaving a like, a comment, and even subscribing to the channel. But also make sure you hit that bell for notifications, that way you don't miss any future notifications from my channel. So for us in the UK, it's that time of year again. We get set to travel to the world of Down Under through our TV screens. Now, many of you might be wondering, what the hell is he on about? So, in the UK, around this time of year, in November, there's a game show called I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, which probably some of you are familiar with in the UK, if you're watching from the UK. Other parts of the world might have that show as well, I don't know. And the show follows a bunch of random celebrities as they travel to Australia to take part in the show. And they become campmates for about 2-3 weeks, I think it is. While also doing some incredibly dangerous and really disturbing tasks, and also eating some rather disturbing food, aka creatures for the most part. I'm not a die-hard watcher of the show. Sometimes I tune in, sometimes I don't. It really depends on the lineup for me, like who do I know out of these names that's been revealed that's going to be on the show every year. That really determines whether or not I watch it. This year so far, with the names I've seen listed, which I'll go over in a minute, it looks like I'll probably watch it for shits and giggles. But it's not a lineup where I'm like extremely excited, extremely thrilled, and like, oh, I can't wait to see this person, I can't wait to hear what this person has to say, you know, that sort of thing. It's more like, okay, sure, it's a decent lineup. Half these names I'm familiar with, like 3 or 4 people I'm familiar with. Others I haven't got a clue about. But with that being said, let's get on with today's episode. And be sure to let me know your feelings down below in the comment section. If you're familiar with I'm a Celebrity, whether you like I'm a Celebrity, whichever version you've seen, who's your favourite contestant of all time, you know, stuff like that. But without further ado, here's today's episode. To get me out of here, full lineup for 2024 has been revealed. Yep, it's coming up, that time of year, where we all tune in to watch a bunch of celebrities we know and love, or rather sometimes don't know at all, or certainly don't love, yeah, that's usually the case, suffer in the jungle down under. Whenever I do watch I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, there's a good chance there's usually like 1 or 2 names I'm probably familiar with, and the rest like, oh yeah, I'm loosely familiar with that name, or I have zero clue who that name is altogether. But, in saying that, it does usually lead to some interesting moments, especially when you get to know a person for the first time through this TV program, and you get to see some of the tasks they're set up to do within the show, and how their personality handles those certain tasks. ITV has previously confirmed the Ant and Dec hosted show, Ant and Dec being these 2 men right here, would be returning on the 16th of November, with plenty of speculation kicking off about who would be taking part. And finally, it looks like we know who would be showing their face, from Ms. Wackafar Christie herself, to radio hosts, and a former X Factor judge, to a TikTok star. You gotta get the TikTok generation in there somehow. It's not yet fully been confirmed by ITV, who previously told Lab Bible that any names suggested for I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here are just speculation, but according to The Sun, these are celebrities taking part. I mean, if I was to take a look at this lineup, I would say, yeah, okay, given the names I've seen already, it's a good chunk of them now probably are accurate. Some, I'm like, oh, I don't know about that one. But for the most part, yeah, I can see these people being on the show. Now, this is one of those names where I'm not too familiar with. I know a little bit of her. I know she's married to Wayne Rooney, a famous footballer here in the UK who plays for Manchester United, and that's about it. I know she's got some like documentary series on Disney Plus. That's literally about it. So I'm interested to know if whether or not she's gonna be a part of the show, or whether or not this is just a part of the speculation. Arguably a headliner for this year's lineup, and also there's a very good chance if she is in this show, she could possibly win. Because like, she's like the biggest name out of them all for the most part, I would say. Arguably a headliner of this year's lineup, the iconic detective and WAG is said to be a big fan of the show, which Rebecca Fateley herself took part in back in 2017. According to The Sun, it's also said she's getting paid even more than the controversial contestant Nigel Farage did last year. Nigel Farage is a politician over here in the UK. Next up is Danny Jones, who I'm loosely familiar with. I know he's in a band called McFly. He's also a judge on The Voice. That's literally all I can say about him. With it being previously reported that Tommy Fury pulled out of appearing, it's said that the McFly star is in his replacement, making him the second member of the band to take on the Jungle. Following winner Dougie Poynton in 2011. I probably got his last name wrong, so my bad. A Jungle insider told The Sun, as well as bringing some of the star appeal of the group with him, he'll be supplying some serious guy candy for the campmates and viewers at home. Oiti Mabus. Again, if I got this person's name wrong as well, I do apologise. I'm not familiar with this person, so yeah, my bad. From being a professional on Strictly Come Dancing and judging on Dancing on Ice to hosting a documentary, Mabus has become quite a household name. The 33-year-old is pretty well loved and always guaranteed to be great fun. Cool. Alan Horsall. The Coronation Street star was apparently supposed to be on I'm a Celeb last year before he got seriously injured. Horsall, who plays Tyrone Dobbs on Corrie, which is a hit soap opera here in the UK, which I don't understand why, but that's a conversation for another day, have been rumoured to join before he announced to fans that he suffered a pretty serious leg injury. Whether he had been preparing to head into the Jungle or not before, what he needed was time to recover rather than competing in a celeb cyclone. GK Barry, a TikToker who has taken to podcasting and TV, she wouldn't be the first internet star to make the leap into I'm a Celeb. Nyla Rose did it last year, and it's possible that I'm a Celebrity Getting Out of Your team have decided to go for another influencer. Plus her work on Loose Women, which means she's no stranger to appearing on ITV. Don't know who she is. Beautiful woman. Definitely gonna be some eye candy. Apparently she's a TikTok star as well, so cool. I guess she's more for like the TikTok generation, maybe. Dean McCullough. The Radio 1 host is known for brilliant banter to his shows and is sure to be outspoken on I'm a Celeb, according to the Sun Insider. The Northern Irish presenter has done some TV work, but is better known for his BBC radio work and on Gaydar. Talisa. Now this is a name I'm very familiar with. Very, very familiar with. A long-time crush of mine as well, I gotta admit. Heading to the Jungle will mark a TV comeback for the N-Dubz star. N-Dubz being like a huge UK rap group over here in the UK, who actually made a comeback, I think last year or the year before that. So it was surprising to me that she's actually on a show like I'm a Celebrity, when the N-Dubz reunion was huge for those in the UK, and it did pretty well as well for the fans of the older generation, like my generation, and also the newer generation, like the Gen Zs, who are probably just discovering N-Dubz, or who discovered N-Dubz for the first time thanks to this reunion. So I was a little bit surprised to see her announced as a potential contestant on this show. But hey, I'm all for it. She's got some eye candy, definitely. She's outspoken as well, and she's pretty cool, so I like Talisa a lot. So I'll be excited to see what she gets up to within the show. And she doesn't strike me as well as someone who's scared of anything, so that'll be really interesting as well to see on the show. Heading into the Jungle will mark a TV comeback for the N-Dubz star as she returns for following a lifelong health battle. Talisa has been considered for the show for a while, but she's never wanted to consider it. But now, a decade since she left the X Factor, where she was a judge on that show, and off the back of her group's tour, it seems like the right time. More power to her. Jane Moore, another Loose Woman star, because I'm a Celeb doesn't seem right without any of them. The 62-year-old is ready for her next challenge as she takes on the jungle down under. Malvin O'Dome. Time for a new radio show from the jungle, joining McCough. This makes two BBC Radio 1 presenters on the series this year. He had been rumoured to take part back in 2021, but turned it down. I think it's an amazing show to watch, he said at the time. I think it's so entertaining, but I don't think I could hack it being in the jungle. I'll be too scared. Marua Higgins. Another late addition following Furry's supposed exit, the Love Island star will be swapping the villa for the jungle camp. Known for her sense of humour and straight talking, she'll be bringing the spice this year. Barry McColgan. Having once took the piss out of Amir Khan for failing a bush trucker trial, it seems the boxing promoter has long decided to have a go himself. It's said McColgan was another last-minute addition to this year's I'm Celeb, following Ali McCoss dropping out. The programme that hosts I'm a Celebrity has a reputation for going after these sort of stars, dance, reality TV judges or contestants, boxing legends or promoters, politicians, famous singers, actors, whatever it may be. So these are all very likely names to be considered for the show. Nonetheless, that's the episode here today, guys. Let me know your feelings down below. If you are a fan of I'm a Celebrity, what do you think of this potential lineup? Are you a fan of it? Do you not? Are you familiar with any of these names? Who stands out the most to you? And with that being said, and until next time, take care, stay safe, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye for now.